So, hello everyone, this is Thursday, July 7, 2022, the Hindu Delhi edition. Okay, so we'll be, as usual, first identifying the most important news, followed by a detailed discussion of the same. But before going forward, let me give you the answer for yesterday's question. So, yesterday's question was to identify major ocean currents of North Pacific, right? So, this was the question. So, we'll make the North Pacific Ocean first. So if this is the equator, fine. So we'll have Asia over here, like this, and somewhat like this we have the Americas. Oh, let me go. Okay, so this is your. I'm not concerned with the lower one, right? So this is my North Pacific Ocean. Okay, so this is North Pacific Ocean. So we'll be making the currents first. The one current, as usual, red I will be showing. So this is the North Pacific equatorial current. Okay, okay, two more features I have to draw here. There is this thing called Japan Kuril Islands. Okay, there is this Philippine Islands here. Okay, so just know these things, that these islands to let the current divide. Okay, so one will go like this, other will go like this. This would be the East China current, or yes, and this would be the Philippine current. If they go on and come together, but they do not intensify as in case of the Gulf Stream. Why? Because there is a lot of space. Okay, and then there will be a drift like this. Okay, a drift will be seen like this, okay, fine. So this is one section will be going like this, that will go like this, and other will come inside and go like this. Okay, so this is the hot current or warm current. Let's see the cold current. So cold current obviously will enter from here. So one will go like this and other will come like this. This will be Alaskan current, and it will go on to become California current and settle down. Okay, so this is the structure for this Pacific Ocean. I'll name them. So the warm current are North Pacific equatorial current. Second would be your Kuroshio. If you want, you can write here Philippine current. Then Kuroshio, important one. Okay, and this back current of Alaska is also there. This warm one will go and get like this. Okay, so Alaska back current type of thing is this. Not exactly back current. I won't say it is a back current. It would be conceptually wrong. It is just Alaska current. Okay, so Alaska current will be both positive, means warm and cold. Okay, so this is North Pacific equatorial current, Philippine current. Then we have your Kuroshio, and this is North Alaska. Fine, Alaska, right? And then we have the cold currents. What are the cold current? This one. What is the name of this? Okay, let me mark it here. Oyashio, California. Oyashio current, California current. Okay, and this is what's the name of these islands here? There's one more. This will come like this, and this will go like inside also. So this is Kuril current. Okay, and then there's a set of island here. I'm just not getting the name of those islands on my. Okay, let's find out. Island chain joining USA to Russia. The name is joining Alaska to, not USA, I must write Alaska. Alaska to Russia. But I am asking chain the Barents Island or something. Bering. Yes. This is called Bering Strait. Okay, so there is one more current. You can name it as Bering current. Not very specifically mentioned, but yes, currents are mentioned as per their places. So it is also named like this. Fine. So this is the major ocean currents of for North Pacific. Now the next day assignment is to obviously to chalk down the currents of South Pacific. Okay. So comment the major currents of South Pacific Ocean. Look, I am not going for the optional based thing that these currents are also that there are a number of currents, but we'll be just identifying the things that are relevant with GS purpose. Okay. So with this, we are now heading towards identification of most important news. Let's see. So Spice just gets DGCA notice important. Raipur not important. Kerala not important. Mahua not important. ADM Council decided not important. Okay. Vehicle lie buried under the debris in Shimla. Again, this has risen. We have to see why. Okay. Okay. LG seeks public advice on ways to boost MCD finances. So supply of sanitary napkin to schools. Good. Very good. Delhi government. Okay. There is nothing here. Nothing here. There is nothing here. Okay. Words from Bangdong to Delhi, Bali and Delhi. Future of world order is time to enabling balance outlook to strategic policy. Okay. This is a kind of uh, advisory article. If you want, you can read it. I won't be doing this. Overheard sentiment because of hate speech. Okay. I don't think it is very important, but yes, no pharma freebies and yes to public courts. Offense as a taking stock of 5 years of GST, very important. Okay, we'll do this also. India EU global dynamics. Okay, text and context. Let's see a new advertisement in check. We'll do the gist. It is letter and spirit, so it is more of a legal kind of thing. Gist, I've already explained it yesterday. Okay, so just go and watch there. Was Talon. Okay, we'll see the gist. Okay. Okay. Fine. Minister Mukhtar Naqvi, RCP Singh quits as Rajya Sabha term ends. Okay. There is nothing here. Indian mission has asked Canadian authority to remove provocative material. MSP should continue till market become efficient. Yes, this is very important. Niti Aayog suggestion. Russian pounds down stack. Okay, nothing here. Attack. Okay, we'll do this. There's nothing here. Okay, there is nothing here. So with this, I think we have come to end. Yes. So let's go on to analyze the most important news. Let's see this SpiceJet incident. It has to do emergency landing in, I think, Karachi airport, right? With this, it would be related. DGCA on Wednesday served show cause notice to SpiceJet over its failure to offer safe, efficient, and reliable air services as after as many as 8 mid-air incidents in past 2 months. The regulator blamed the airline for poor safety outreach. Okay, oversight and failure to procure spending. The DGC has given the accountable manager of SpiceJet, its chairman and managing director Ajay Singh 3 weeks to explain why action should not be taken against the airline. Okay, the civil aviation minister tweeted, "Passenger safety is paramount. Even the smallest error in handling safety will be thoroughly investigated and course corrected." Singh said that doubly careful but called the incident minor. Okay. The diversion of Delhi Dubai flight to Karachi due to fuel indication malfunction, cracked wind screen on Kandala Mumbai flight, and a snag on weather radar on its cargo aircraft from Kolkata to Chongqing, which forced the plane to return to Kolkata. These take a total incident involving SpiceJet crash to 8 since May 1. Okay. SpiceJet failed to establish safe. Okay. A review of recent incidents shows that airline either forced to turn back aircraft on many occasions or to continue flight with degraded safety margin, fallen standard due to poor internal safety oversight, failure to carry out failure to pay vendors on time and led the shortage of spare. According to financial assessment in 2021, in an implicit warning, the DGCA says that airline permit to operate commercial flights valid only till May 2023. Okay. Fine. So this is a problematic issue. They should look after it because SpiceJet is a cheaper kind of airline. So many Indians prefer using it because of the high airfares, right? Okay, we didn't had any news on these pages as I remember. So we directly move on to editorial. Yes, we'll be doing editorial at last as usual, and the text and context and the 2 pages. Now let's see the news first. Yes, MSP should continue till market become efficient. Niti Aayog member comment on procurement is SKM. Okay, ahead of nationwide protest by SKM demanding a law to ensure minimum support price, Niti Aayog member Ramesh Chand said here on Wednesday that MSP should continue till market become competitive and efficient. MSP can be given through means other than procurement, he said. Getting agricultural market right, triggering reaction from leaders of SKM. Secretary of All India Kisan Sabha said farmers were demanding a law to ensure MSP. Only 2 items are procured of 23 crops that have an MSP. MSP without a 22 crops have MSP. How is this saying 23? 14 plus 6 plus 2. MSP without a legal guarantee will not be effective as input cost has increased. Okay, let's see. MSP was directly linked to the food security of the country. MSP is linked to procurement, shortage, storage and distribution of food grain through public distribution system. The Niti Aayog members seem to have forgotten the statement of Food Minister Mr. Goyal asking states to encourage paddy sowing. Okay, farmers cultivate paddy as their MSP. There is MSP and procurement of the crop. MSP without procurement has no meaning. Addressing the conference, Mr. Chand has also said that efficiency pricing system was one such means of giving MSP to farmer, but added that DPP could not be stopped once they implemented. Under DPP, the difference between the open market price and MSP is given to farmer. It has been implemented in some states like Madhya Pradesh. He said that some cases MSP is justified in time of violating in price and glut. I feel that what matters is how we give MSP to farmer. MSP has to be there as long as markets are not competitive and efficient. But MSP can be given through means other than procurement, he said. Mr. Chand added that he had given a detailed presentation on issue to Prime Minister. He said the difference between open market price and MSP was 12 to 15% of and MSP fixed 23 crops would require 80,000 crore based on 1920 prices. He said that the future there could be difference in Sarkari crops, MSP fixed, and Bajari crops, and added that corporates were showing interest in innovation in Bajari crop. Okay, revamp protest. The SKM is relaunching its protest demanding to legalize MSP. When monsoon season of the parliament begins, the SKM will hold nationwide rally asking centre to implement promises it has made while repealing the laws. Okay, so look, Niti Aayog is actually talking sense. Fine, in my opinion. Yes, there are other ways also. Means MSP plus other ways will lead to what? It will lead to diversification. Okay, of payment avenues. Now this would lead to what? This will also be useful in tackling WTO claims that they always give that India is giving undue advantage to farmer. So these things would be better for us. Okay, but this, let's see how it unfolds. Within 2-3 days it will unfold. Okay, there is nothing here. Yes, there is one this news. RBI eases rules to boost forex inflows. Why it is boosting forex inflows? To arrest falling rupee. Okay, plus rising inflation. Okay, these things. A slew of temporary measures aimed at boosting foreign exchange inflows, including a doubling in overseas borrowing limit for corporates and removal of interest rate ceilings for NRI's foreign currency deposits. Fine, two things it has done. So what will happen? Overseas borrowing limit for corporate has been increased. So two things have been done. One is increase in overseas borrowing limit for corporates. Now what will happen? Now if this is Indian corporate, okay, and this is say international bank, any international bank, say NDB, or just let it international bank. So what it will give? It will give dollars, okay, as loan, and since the limit has been increased to initially say $100 billion was the limit, okay, so it become $200 billion. So more dollars into Indian economy. Then what will happen in Indian economy? What will happen? Dollars will increase, rupee remains same. So what will increase? Dollar to rupee ratio increases, or rupee to dollar ratio decreases, means appreciation of rupee. Okay, so this is why it will happen. Now what will RBI do? Look, you cannot use dollar in Indian economy, right? So you bring in dollar, you will go to RBI. RBI will give you equivalent rupee. You inject rupee here, but what will happen? The rupee will increase and there will be more depreciation. So RBI takes out this rupee via other mechanisms. Okay. So this rupee, extra rupee that entered here will be taken out by RBI. So in this way, you get the loan also, you use your money also, but the system remains unaffected. Okay. The move comes, and second thing is removal of interest rate ceiling for NRI foreign currency deposit. So second is removal of IR for NRI foreign currency deposits. Now what will this happen? What will be how will this help? NRI will do what? It will what we say? It will deposit, okay, $1 into Indian economy, and we need dollar right now, so it will come. Now removal of interest rate ceiling will do what? Banks can offer more interest rate now. Okay, more interest rate, therefore more effective, more attractive. Okay, therefore better avenues of getting NRI foreign currency deposits. Look, economics is very easy if you understand the dynamics of money flow. Fine. Now let's move forward. Okay, the move comes as persistent capital outflows and a widening trade deficit have led to sharp appreciation in Indian rupees. Observing that rupee has depreciated by 4.1% so far in the financial year, RBI asserted that, barring the portfolio investment, capital flows remain stable with adequate levels of reserves, providing a buffer against external shock. In Indian foreign reserve, it stood at 593.3 billion on June 24. On December 31st, 2021, it was 634 billion. So obviously you have this 7 here and 34 there. $41 billion loss. So about what is the difference? Greater than $40 billion you have lost due to this thing. Reserve Bank has been closely and continuously monitoring the liquidity condition in forex market and stepped in as needed to in all the segment to alleviate dollar tightness with objective of ensuring orderly market functioning in order to further diversify and expand the sources of forex funding so as to mitigate volatility and dampen global spillover. It has been decided to undertake measures to enhance forex inflows while ensuring the overall macroeconomic and financial stability. The RBI added, as part of the measures, banks have exempted from maintaining stipulated. Okay, they have been exempted from maintaining the stipulated CRR and SLR on increment at FCNRB. FCNRB is a type of account. Okay, an NRE term deposit mobilize up to November 4. It has been decided that with the effect from reporting fortnightly. Okay, incremental FCNRB and NRB with reference to the measure it has been written will be exempt from maintenance of CLR and SLR. It also freed bank to temporarily raise fresh deposit without reference to extant regulations. Okay, FPI debt non-bludgeoned to encourage for portfolio investment into debt. The RBI has said the choice of government on bond available for investment under fully accessible route would be widened with all new issuance of GSEC of 7-year and 14-year 10 years, including the current issuance of 7.10% GS government security 2029. Okay, also double the annual limit for external ECVs to 1.5 billion or its equivalent dollars. Okay, fine. So this is the news here. So a lot of loosening, but what is the summary for this? What is the basic point for this? To arrest the decreasing rupee and hence the inflation in the country. Okay, fine. Now let's see if any other news is left. So obviously no news is left here to discuss. So let's move on to the editorial, text and context page, etc. Okay, so we are there with the text and context page. Let's do it first. The new rule to keep advertisement under check. I'll be just doing the gist because it is dealing with the rules. We have to anyway do it. So we'll do it afterwards, not now, because these rules are liable to be changed. CCPA recently issued a guideline to prevent false or misleading advertisement. The guidelines are path-breaking because they fill the significant consumer protection gap and duties they have explicitly outlined in the advertiser's duty. The advertisement is valid if its content true and honest representation of goods and does not exaggerate the accuracy, scientific validity, or practical usefulness and capability in prominent move. The advertisement that condone, encourage, inspire, or unreasonably imitate behavior that could be dangerous for children or take advantage of children inexperience, credibility, or sense of loyalty sector have been prohibited. Okay, so special care for children has been taken. Okay, fine. All-time high India's trade deficit. The chance between export and imports has widened for the first quarter, with the trade deficit hitting 70 billion, translating into average of 23.3 billion a month. While Russia conflict with Ukraine has propped commodity prices up globally, the spillover effects of runaway inflation are hurting global growth prospect as well as trade demand. The lackluster export in June reflects an underlying slowdown of external demand. The India is not alone. Even super exporter Germany recorded its first trade deficit in 30 years. Okay, so it is a world phenomenon right now. So no need to worry. Yes, the worry is on the pocket, but saying that India is only involved in this would not be justice to it. Okay. Worst Stehen requires researcher to place themselves in position of the individual, observe to see and comprehend meaning behind the person's action, meaningful and attached to the motive. Okay, fine. I understand it right now. Means put yourself in others' shoes. Okay, give it a read, you will understand it. It is just like diorama of Heisenberg, not Heisenberg, this person, what is his name, who gave the theory of information diffusion. Okay, that person. Okay, diorama. Let's see these news. Taking stock of 5 years of taking stock of 5 years of GST. Findings shows that it has lowered inflation of food item and raised inflation of non-food items. Okay, this is a very good observation. The monumental GST has completed 5 years in existence. Before its implementation, it was said that it would be a boon to the economy in terms of higher revenue buoyancy, lower inflation, higher revenue, higher growth, and so on. On completion of 5 years, it makes sense to ask what happened to the inflation. During 12 months preceding GST implementation, CPI was 3.66, while it increased to 4.24 post GST in next 12 months. However, India not alone witnessed higher inflation. Similar pattern was observed everywhere else. GST initially increases inflation. Based on the actual inflation numbers, one can conclude that GST has an inflationary impact on India, but this was not correct approach to understand whether GST raised inflation in India or not. Before we systematically examine this issue, let us understand how GST can affect prices. Understanding the mechanism. In theory, implementing GST should not lead to change in overall inflation. The revenue neutral rate is calculated so that it would not cause higher inflation, but revenue neutrality does not mean that prices will not go up and down in the economy. This is because the weight of the good in the consumption basket and the contribution to indirect taxes collection are not same. For example, food and drinks, rent and clothing are significant part of CPI basket that are either not taxed or taxed at low rate. Importantly, the effect of GST on prices of certain goods and services depend on the structure and design of taxation, such as level of exemption, rate structure, GST goods, etc., etc. Tax base and all those things. RBI showed that about half of the groups of the item of GST covered are not in CPI basket. Study found headline inflation might rise by 10 basis point only. So the effect of GST on prices was expected to be small. Finally, prior to GST implementation, it was expected that price would go down because GST harmonizes indirect tax and eliminates the cascading effect. Okay, so with time it was expected that the prices would go down. So how can we ascertain whether the GST has inflationary impact in India? To answer this, we turn into statistical modeling, which will give us a precise and neat estimates of the gradual impacts of an intervention. In nutshell, this model uses pre-intervention data to train the data estimates. Okay, fine. And he's talking about statistical. What is the result? Okay, so results provide us with an interesting picture with pack of GST. First, we look into the overall price index. Here, actual CPI growth in study period is 4.61%, whereas counterfeit estimate was 3.24%. This implies that without GST implementation, CPI inflation would have been 3.25%. This indicates whether with implementation of GST, CPI increased. Okay. Second, we found that CPI core inflation increased also. Third, GST is found to have significant positive impact on inflation of commodity groups such as palm, tobacco, intoxicant, etc. Okay, rise in inflation post GST could be due to rise in tax rate of goods. Okay. The average weighted GST rate was designed to be neutral. Okay, fine. Give it a read. It is a easy thing. They have given their views. I cannot write this in examination. That is the point why I am not trying to read it. Because this is what they have found. This is not publicly released by some agencies whose report can be trusted anyhow. So, okay, give it a read. Just know this thing. India-EU global dynamics. Recent progress in the alliance opens up prospects of customized partnership and mutual growth. Okay, and who are these two persons? Let's see. Associative Fellow and Kushi Kumar is an internet Teddy. Okay. With carbon neutrality being the byword to sustainable world, the host of country Norway, Sweden, United Kingdom, and all those have set themselves for net zero target in middle or latter part of the century. At forefront of the commitment of net zero is EU, which wants to be the first carbon neutral region in the world by 2050. It bought out European Union Green Deal, CABM, carbon pricing system. To attain carbon neutrality. EU has set up the 4 immediate target that has to be brought out for Fit 55 package, a communication of 2030 climate target. The provision for policy is introduction of carbon border adjustment mechanism. Now this is important with respect to prelims. A carbon pricing system proposed. The CABM suggests that taxing imported good based difference between the carbon used and production of domestic. Okay, fine. Proposed to be complementary EU emission trading schemes. During the transition phase of CABM beginning January, this importers will only have to report emission embedded in the procurement. Okay, the system, however, will come completely into force from January 1, 26. Fine. The EU claims that CABM is intended to reduce carbon leakage, create a level playing field for EU producers, and encourage producers in other countries to adopt cleaner technology. Okay, so where is India here? Okay. Developing countries are also flagged the use of revenue collected from CABM. According to EU, revenue collected will be part of EU budget. The next generation EU, a recent initiative launched, the countries opposing the proposed revenue utilization mechanism suggested that if CABM is to be implemented, revenue collected from it should be used for cleaner technology adoption. India and EU share a healthy trade relationship. EU and India, third largest trading partner, while India is EU's 11th largest. Okay. Progressive state recently there has been increasing initiative from both sides to deepen the engagement for FTAs. Both India and EU are committed to climate change. The recent progress in EU alliance open prospect of customized partnership. Okay, fine. Such a partnership will ensure both India and EU have their agenda. Fine. Okay, so this is an easy article. Give it a read, you will understand. Fine. So I think with this we have come to end of today's newspaper analysis. Okay, so I hope you like it. If you like it, consider subscribing the channel, liking our content, commenting and sharing. Okay, now it's time to take a part from you, say a goodbye to you all. So goodbye all, study hard and be healthy, and Jai Hind. Cut. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.